So today we're going to try to resolve the auto start stop function in a Cadillac xt5. So if you're like me, you want no part of the hitting the button every time you get in to turn the auto start stop off. Obviously for multiple reasons. There's a lot of ways you can do it. I was pretty surprised as I started doing some research to try to find, well, how do I get this thing turned off? And as I started doing it, there is solutions where people are tearing the dash apart, installing a wiring harness in there that's a little complicated that goes in there, and those generally run somewhere between $75 and $100. I've seen little chips that can go into the PCM and hook up to the PCM, and they're, I think, upwards of $140. And then I run across this one that's just amazing. It's like, I think $7-8. Super simple what it does. Makes a ton of sense, and it just connects basically to the hood release. So really easy thing to do. So you can buy them. Here's the two different versions that would be for a Cadillac. So this would be like 17 to 19, I believe it is. And this one here would be 20 and up Cadillac. And of course, these are going to fit many GM products. So the theory behind going why you would go to the hood latch release, and I don't know what this bypass is exactly doing, but it functions. But essentially, the auto start stop function won't work with the hood up. And so this is basically tricking the system into thinking the hood's up without supposedly hurting anything in the system. Anyhow, easiest thing in the world to install. We're going to show you how to do that. So what we have is right here, it'll be kind of centered, almost dead center. And there could be a couple other sensors that can look confusing, but almost dead centered here. You're going to pop this plug out, and we're essentially going to plug this in. So once we separate this plug, there's only one way it can go. You put the one end in that and the other end in that. Put this back, and away we go. So to do this plug, what you've got is this little red tab here. You just pull it out like with your thumbnail, and then within this spot you can push down and pull the plug apart. That's it. Now we take the new one we've got, which can only go one way. I'm going to go this way. New one plugs in. Put the red release back in so it can't come out. This one can only go one way. There's actually a little notch inside there. It's hard to see. And that notch will line up with the notch here. And once you're clipped in, you're basically in. Then we're going to go put this thing back the way it used to be into here, and then we're going to have some extra wire here now. So I'll just take a little piece of a zip tie, and I'll just zip tie it right in place right there. And that was a super quick way to remove the auto start function. Just that easy. Doesn't take any time, and now I don't have to push the darn button anymore. And probably will work in reverse. I'll have to test it and try it out, but I believe if I did want to turn it on, I can probably hit the button and it will activate. But this will keep it from having to do that. Every time I shut the car off and I come back in, start it back up, it'll automatically be disabled now. So now it's on a disabled function. And by the way, all US companies should do this. For instance, if you have a Porsche Macan, you can just go into your settings and turn it off. And it'll be disabled and part of your key in programming. So it's kind of ridiculous they don't do that with GM, Ford, and Dodge and those companies. But at least there's the super smart people in these world who figured out the quick little hacks to get us around it. And for $10 and 5 minutes, it's really a no-brainer. Again, stay away from those plugs tearing your dash apart when something like this works. So simple, so cheap.
Very cool.